Okay, back again. So for me, knowing Jesus now, and it's like, and it's not unique either. I mean, I know my wife, my former wife, that died 9 months ago. 9 months, was it? Something like that. Her presence, is in me, near me. I can feel her. I know she's here. See, when people leave this planet, we're all sucked into through visualization and sight, all the senses, but we have stories and files and meaning about all what the senses mean. So we're caught in this world of limitation of what we think and believe. When someone leaves and they die, we think they're gone. But we're the ones that are gone. They're the ones that are free. They're the ones that expand and no longer have these shackles and these blind spots that we hide from that in humanity and in the world. They're right there. Sometimes I think they're right next to me and in some way going like, in their own way, praying, saying, God, Dale, I wish you could see me like I see you. Yes, I know you say you love me at times, and even when, and you're reaching out toward that, but I just pray that you can see me, through all the subterfuge. And I can at times. I can see that. But I see in different ways. It's like how I see Jesus. I see him in different ways. And he's important to me because he's the key. Like on these videos I'm doing where I'm saying, I really want to connect with people because it really makes a difference when one or more are gathered. It makes everything, like the dark night of the soul, to every kind of release of everything, to letting go of anything and knowing bliss and freedom and not being afraid in the world. It becomes simpler. And not only, it's like you're not battling the negativity, you're free and open to experience the possibilities together. And for me, I get part of that very powerfully from my relationship with Jesus. I'm not alone. I'm never alone, even when there's no human being around me, and I don't see the prospects of a human being around me, which lately where I've been at has happened a lot. But I'm not alone through that presence, his presence, the presence of another loved one, a magnificent loved one, the master of the universe. He is a master of the universe. How could, he walked through death. He gave himself and surrendered to death where he could have changed, folks, he could have changed that. He could raise the dead. You don't think he could have changed that situation? Yes, he could have changed that situation. He was a master of existence, but he didn't use it willfully. He followed the thread of the wholeness that he called his Father. He followed the thread of the wholeness that included everyone, all parts of him. And that's how he proceeded. And that's why he went through it, because he shattered the last threat, which was that they can do, you can adjust, you can let go of everything, but can you let go of someone torturing and murdering you? Can you let go of that? He went, well, of course, because I know I'm not my body, my mind, and anything that's of this earth. I know that. And still, he was in the Garden of Gethsemane saying, yeah, but I'm still pretty darn close to it. So if I could take that away, if you could take that away from me, I'd go for it. But I'll walk through this because I know it's just that maybe he didn't even see the importance of it as much as what he called his Father did. I don't know. But I do know he walked through it. That I do know. And so with Jesus, it's really important. I think the last thing I want to say, one of the reasons why I'm really working on this is because I'm going to do this talk on next Sunday, and I think I'm going to talk about Jesus. And they give me some. This is a Methodist church, and they give me some scripture. Wonderful church, wonderful people. But they give me some scripture, and I have to, I channel everything. I don't know what I'm going to say until I get up there. But I do start things, all through my week and stuff. They're going to be going through me. I just don't hold on to them. I just look at them. But one of the things that really struck me was one of the scriptures of two scriptures they give me, and that is this scripture here. See if I can read this. It's kind of dark. The light went off here, but you can see me well. This is from Matthew, and it's the 16th chapter, and it's the one, well, it's one where Jesus asks who he is, and the disciples answered, and he comes up to him and and Jesus says, Jesus came into the region of Caesarea Philippi. He asked his disciples, saying, "Who do men say that I am, the Son of Man?" So they said, some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. Old guys then, around. Simon Peter answered and said, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Jesus answered and said to him, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven." Then he says this. He says, "And I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Okay, I could see Jesus saying that and flowing that, but I skipped something here. I actually skipped a verse when I read that to you. I'm going to read that last part again. I want to read it once again where he says, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not received this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I shall give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Okay? That's the one I read. That isn't how it's written. That's not how it's recorded. Here's how it's recorded. There's an inserted a passage in there, and it says, "And I also say to you that you," it says, "and I also say to you that," he says, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I also say to you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it. And then I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth, Why is that significant? I'll tell you why it's significant. Because I know Jesus, and Jesus would not have said that middle passage. And when I read that, it's real clear to me like they interrupted him and just put something in there. Either Matthew did or the church. It was all, it's fear-based, first of all. It's about Hades and like forces against him. And get this, Jesus is the Prince of Forgiveness. He says, don't resist. All throughout, he says, don't resist. He didn't resist when they killed him. He did not resist. He did not do that because he knew that was an illusion to do so. Yet here in the midst of this scripture in the red letters, there's this one that says, "And I also say to you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it." So I'm going to speak about that next week, and I need to, I've kind of pussyfooted around this for a while, but there's stuff in the Bible that just supposedly Jesus said. I mean, there's a lot in the Bible. But when you get in the red letter edition of what Jesus said, I'm running out of time here. I'm going to do it again. One more video.